What's going on, guys? Astro with Hidden Profits Crypto here. Before we get into today's video, as usual, I want to give a huge thanks to everybody who's been supporting the channel. We got a lot of new subs, so if you guys are new, welcome to the channel. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, make sure to do so. We upload every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We show a lot of low cap altcoins, hidden gems, and a lot of other great projects, so you guys aren't going to want to miss out on that. Anyways, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into today's video. All right, so today we are going to be taking a first look at a project called Vader Protocol. Now, Vader Protocol is, or at least they claim to be, the all-in-one go-to for DeFi. They have a lot of the best perks of other projects such as Terra, THORChain, and Olympus DAO. So if you guys have been hearing a lot of the hype about Terra and Olympus, it's definitely going to be interesting for this project as it implements some of the things from those projects that make them as great as they are and put them all into one spot here. So without saying too much, we got quite a long video. So make sure you guys watch all the way through. At the end, we're going to take a look at the price of Vader, and we got a ton of information to go over. So I don't want you guys to miss out on this one. It's going to be a good one. Make sure to stay tuned. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so here we are. We're going to start off checking out the Twitter. So this is at Vader Protocol. They have a little over 3,000 followers. A liquidity protocol anchored by native stablecoin with slip-based fees, AMM, IAL protection and synthetics, and DAO governed protocol owned liquidity. So if some of that just sounds like Spanish to you, we will figure it out, and we're going to go over everything that this project has to bring to the table. Now, I do recommend we are going to take a look at this article here, but I do recommend you guys go through the Twitter and just kind of go through the past history, see everything that they post. That's one of the things I do when I look at a project, is go over their past tweets. Anyways, there is a link tree here, which has all of their links, website, CoinGecko. They're not listed on CoinMarketCap just quite yet, but I think they are working on it. Discord, Telegram, the Medium, which I will show you guys, Docs, Etherscan, the white paper, GitHub, Twitter, and the Telegram for, I believe that's Chinese. So all of their links here. Always make sure you guys are using official links from the actual project. If you use some random, link you might see in the Telegram and you click it and it isn't, the right website address, that can cause a lot of problems. I've been seeing a lot of people lately getting burned from not being on the right website. People just make a scam website that looks just like the official one. So make sure you guys are double checking those URLs whenever you're doing anything. But like I said, all the links are here, so make sure to check that out. So here is the Medium. We're not going to go through everything because there is a lot of articles here, but I do suggest that you guys go through and read all of these articles. This is all research you guys should be doing. Do your own due diligence and make sure that when you guys are investing money, that you're not just taking my word or anybody else's word for it, and you guys are actually doing your own research. There is a ton of weekly updates and all sorts of information on here that goes even further down. So you guys can kind of see that they are very active and very much updating the project as things go, which is a great sign for a project. Nobody wants to invest into a project with devs that just don't tell anybody anything, don't show progress, don't do any updates or anything like that. So it's great to get a lot of this information here. That is a big plus sign. All right, so let's go ahead and head over to the website. We're going to take a look at that, and then I have an article that I want to read through that kind of gives a better digestible summary of the project, and then we're going to take a look at some other things as well. All right, here we are at vaderprotocol.org. You can see right off the bat, the website looks very nice. This is actually pretty cool. So let's click Learn More. So the father of decentralized liquidity. Become part of something bigger than yourself, a fair financial system without a central authority, swap, LP, borrow, lend, mint, interest-bearing synths, and more in a fairly distributed, governance minimal protocol built to last. So the features of this project are swap tokens with straightforward pricing. No more trying to figure out how much Gwei is worth your native currency. If you guys don't know what Gwei is, that's basically like Satoshis for Bitcoin. It's like a portion of Ethereum. So all trading pairs are tokens matched to stable coins, ensuring clear pricing. So that's great. Slip-based fees. Tired of fixed swap fees? that often shortchange liquidity providers or confused by liquidity protocols that require additional expertise or outsourcing to maximize returns. The Vader Protocol uses simple and effective slip-based fees that take liquidity into account. This provides fair returns to liquidity providers without any additional complications or calculations. So if you guys are big on providing liquidity for projects, that's a great thing. So liquidity mining, provide liquidity and gain Vader. The core of the protocol, Vader, which we will take a look at, accrues value as liquidity grows in the ecosystem. The more liquidity, the stronger the system. The stronger the system, the more valuable Vader becomes. Be rewarded for participating and becoming part of the fair financial system. And then we have mint synthetic assets. Synthetic assets open up possibilities for financial markets, creating mature financial systems. Mint synthetic assets and gain interest while creating a stronger, more robust system. So it also features impermanent loss protection. When you provide liquidity for core curated pools with impermanent loss protection, a reward for those who help build a stronger system. Impermanent loss protection covers the risk you take becoming a longer-term core liquidity provider. So if you guys don't know what impermanent loss is, it's basically when you're providing liquidity, the amount that you're providing is worth less than it originally was when you started providing the liquidity. That's a great thing for people that are going to provide liquidity. You know, it kind of cuts out that risk there. USDV collateralization stablecoin. Native to the Vader Protocol, USDV is a collateralized stablecoin minted to and from Vader at market value with zero slippage. All asset pools pair USDV with other assets, removing exposure to some of the volatility common to token pairings. Governance minimal. The Vader Protocol is built to be governance minimal. This allows for greater predictability and trust for others to build upon. DAO governance has a limited ability to tweak system parameters, and even this ability can be purged should the system prove to be self-sustaining without outside aid. So there's some links down here. You guys can join the Telegram, Discord, or the Twitter. But now I want to head over to this Medium article. And here we're going to really get into the details of things and give you guys a better understanding. Just reading this article alone kind of gave me a good insight onto the project. And gives you a good understanding. So anyways, it is a bit of a longer article. I am not going to read every single word on this page, but we are going to go over, in my opinion, the more important things. All right, so what is Vader? Well, we heard you. It can be confusing. Essentially, it's a native stablecoin anchored automated market maker with protocol-owned liquidity. Let us explain the protocol in a simpler way along the visual infographic below from our last Medium article. So here you can see a little infographic kind of just summing things up. To simplify, Vader Protocol is a combination of the best core ideas in DeFi, namely the stablecoin mechanism of Terra's money burn to mint, Luna to UST, the AMM of THORChain, CLP and ILP, and the bond sales mechanism of Olympus Pro, POL. So if you guys if you're not super into DeFi, maybe you haven't heard some of these names, but Terra or Luna is absolutely going bonkers right now. Everyone on Twitter is talking about it. It's got a lot of hype right now, as well as Olympus. I've been seeing a ton of people bring that up as well. So introducing Vader Protocol. Vader is a liquidity protocol that anchors a slip-based fee automated market maker with our native stablecoin USDV. USDV is issued by burning to and from Vader token, which acts as the stability mechanism. Liquidity pools use USDV as a settlement asset while offering impermanent loss protection and synthetic assets, which are single-side liquidity positions that do not suffer from any permanent loss. So like I said, not having to worry about impermanent loss when providing liquidity is wonderful. An emission rate of Vader fund impermanent loss protection and liquidity incentives mainly via bond sales to sustain long-term protocol liquidity. So like I said, we're not going to go over absolutely everything, but I do think there are some main points here that will help you guys understand the project more if you understand these other things. All right, so here you see the key features of Vader Protocol. A lot of things we've kind of already talked about. So here is how Terra USD to UST stablecoin works. So when the price of UST is above the intended peg, $1, and the supply is too low and the demand is too high, the protocol incentivizes users to burn Luna to mint UST. The new supply of UST makes a larger pool, balancing the supply with demand. Users mint more UST from burned Luna until UST reaches its peg. The Luna pool gets smaller in this process, increasing the price of Luna. And then the contraction, conversely, when the price of UST is below peg, which is $1, supply is too high and the demand is too low. So the protocol incentivizes users to burn UST and mint Luna. The decrease in UST supply causes scarcity and the price of UST increases. More Luna is minted from the burned UST until UST reaches its peg. The Luna pool increases and prices lower. So just like Luna, Vader is the variable counterpart to the stable asset USDV. So how that system they just explained works between Luna and UST, the exact same system will work between Vader and USDV. So by modulating the supply, Vader's price increases as the demand for stable coins increase as well. So then the second thing, which is THORChain's continuous liquidity pools. So THORChain uses the CLP derived from this formula of Uniswap, but the one key difference is liquidity dependent slip-based fees. So the CLP is arguably one of the most important features of THORChain, as traders will compete for trade opportunities and pay maximally to liquidity providers. Thinner pools offer higher fees for liquidity pools. So impermanent loss protection ensures LPs either make a profit or leave at break even after a minimum period of time set at 100 days and partially covered before that point. The liquidity dependent fees and ILP offered by Vader Protocol makes the best AMM for LPs, thereby driving demand for its anchor asset USDV. So that kind of shows how it will bring some demand for the stablecoin, which, as they said up here, will increase the price of Vader. And then we go into how the bonds work for Olympus Pro. So one of the greatest ideas to emerge from DeFi in recent times is the incentive programs of Olympus Pro and their bond sales. This is a simple process of offering discounted protocol tokens in exchange for vested liquidity pool tokens. The idea of owning liquidity over renting liquidity in a market that has no allegiance other than yield has been a key breakthrough. So we believe that the protocol owned liquidity, or POL, is essentially useful for AMM as Vader in providing perpetual liquidity. So Vader intends to be the all-in-one DeFi protocol. We believe that the combination of the three core ideas that have revolutionized the DeFi space allows for the growth of the first truly decentralized stablecoin on the EVM. All right, so now we get into the Vader tokenomics. 25 billion max supply. So 30% goes to the VETH fair launch holders. 50% goes to Vader liquidity incentives. 10% goes to ecosystem growth, fully unlocked USDV and AMM adoption partnerships, and 10% goes into team allocation with 2-year linear vesting. So I feel that really kind of gives you guys the best understanding of why this project has a ton of potential. Now, since we've gone over that, and it is comparing kind of these three projects and putting them into one, I figured we would take a look at the coin market caps, or just the market caps, I should say, for each of these projects. So here we are at Terra, or Luna, and here you can see that the current market cap is about $19.5 billion. It has been going pretty insane. And then you can see that the fully diluted is 42.5 billion, which is pretty crazy. Now, if we compare that with THORChain, sitting at about 2.8 billion, and $11 with a fully diluted at 5.5 billion. And then we take a look at Olympus, which is 1.1 billion. So that can kind of give you an idea of what we might see with the market cap. I mean, you have almost 20 billion here, almost 3 billion there, and another 1 billion with Olympus. So if a lot of this money from these three projects were to kind of flow into this, you can very much see how the price could increase pretty quickly, and you see how the potential of the market cap is definitely there. All right, so here we are at the DEX tools chart. I just wanted to quickly go over the price here of Vader. We are on the 5 minutes, so this is a relatively small time frame, but it shows the most information in my opinion, so that's why I wanted to show it. You guys can kind of see we have this trend line that we are following and respecting. You can see here, I think when I started the video, it was just testing this here, has found support and is now bouncing. Now, you can see also we have this resistance that's going straight across. Now, what this is forming is a ascending triangle where you get these bounces in between the rising support and then just one level of resistance. So it basically forms this ascending triangle. So once you get this ascending triangle formation, these have about a 70% chance of breaking to the upside. Now, there is always a chance that it does fall back through and come down. I always like to show you guys both sides. It doesn't always gotta just go up, but I do think that this will break to the upside, as most of these ascending triangles do. It does look like we are testing the breakout as we speak. So if it does find support on this resistance, it could bounce a little bit and then continue up. Now, if this ascending triangle does break, I want to quickly give you guys a target roughly in the 5.5 cent range. So short term, and this is a 5-minute chart, so this could be very short term. We do see a breakout of this and it heads towards 5 cents. Long term, we will just have to see. There's a ton of utility for this token, and like I said, with the market caps of the coins that this is all kind of based off of, putting them all into one, I definitely think it has a ton of potential for growth. Anyways, that's going to wrap up today's video. I hope you guys got a lot of good information on Vader Protocol. As always, make sure you guys go and do your own research and look into it a little bit more on your own, but I hope there was enough here to kind of push you one way or the other. I definitely think there's a lot of potential, not only for the project growth, but price growth in the token, Vader, as well as, you know, DeFi just growing as a whole in the future. I definitely think there's a lot of potential here. So that's going to wrap it up. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, leave me a comment down below letting me know what you guys think about Vader. Leave a dislike if you didn't enjoy the video. Make sure to subscribe and tick the notification bell so you guys can stay up to date with all the future videos that I put out. Like I said, we upload every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I am going to be working on some like podcast style video. I put a poll out. I will have it up and running and keep my mind open, but for right now, I think I'm going to kind of work towards doing a like podcast style video. So if you guys want to vote on that poll, I don't know exactly where you can find it, but yeah, go vote. Let me know what you guys think. Anyways, that's gonna wrap it up. I will see you guys Wednesday, and until then, peace.